All right, kiddos, this is part 2 of using Easybib. So just a reminder, you are using Easybib is the engine or the tool that you use to generate or create your bibliography. So part 2 of this, so let's just go down. You're already logged in, you've created your account, you now are starting to add sources. So just make sure that when you're adding your sources, you look at the correct tab to get on. If you're doing a website, obviously that's nice and easy. You just paste in the URL and boom, it'll bring it in. If I'm doing a book, now realize the book is different than the website. So if I'm doing the book, I go to the back of a book. Every book has its International Standard Book Number or that ISBN, usually on the back of the book. Um, right here it says ISBN. And you don't need dashes and you don't include the letters of ISBN when you type it in. Now, some of the newer books, if they're really current, they may not be found easily by the ISBN and you'll have to type in the name and so on. But since you are doing most of this for like your National History Day project, some of these topics are fairly old. So we'll have to, hopefully help you with that. Also, take a look when you're looking at your books at the inside on that title page and look at the book and make sure you see the date. That copyright symbol tells you when that book was published. So some of them you might be finding some really old, amazing books as you're doing your research. Or if you're looking for a current topic, then obviously you're going to want to find a more new copyright date. So it just depends upon what your purpose is. And so always be paying attention to the year that book was published. If it's current on medical stuff, obviously you want newer stuff. So as we go back to Easybib here, for instance, let's say I am going to add in this book, and this is the ISBN number. Again, notice no dashes. Now watch what happens. A lot of times kids forget to switch to the book tab. They click on, they just leave it there, they put in the ISBN, and it starts to look for it, and then all of a sudden it brings up all of these different options here. It's like America in the 1920s, all of these things. But notice when you see a website address on it, oh, I could buy this book at Barnes & Noble. I can get this one at the bookstore. Right away you should say to yourself, uh-oh, I don't think I have book because I have all these websites on here. So double check that. Oh, screwed up, went on website. Just go back, click on book, put that number in again if you have to. And then right here, it even tells you book search result. And look at all I have is one right here. And so I double check it. Is it the right title? Is it by the correct authors and the year it was published? Sometimes you get more than one choice, 2, 3 choices. So just double check the year inside your book at that copyright date again. And sometimes if it says, hey, we don't have what you're looking for, you might have to manually enter the information, which means when I go to this next page, I have to hit cite this. What that means is it's saying, okay, we found the title for you, we found where it was published, we found the authors. Now you go step 2 as it's loading. And this is, if you can't find it, this is where you would manually put the information in, which means, okay, I'm doing the whole book or I'm doing a chapter. So if it goes to chapter, whatever it might, it'll redirect you. So be patient as it's loading that next form, the title of it, the chapter of it, the contributors, and so on. So if you need to do that, you have to enter the author's name. Now again, because it already found it, I'm just double checking, is everything here? Here's the title, the publication, and if I'm doing chapters, oh, I only did it from page 12 to page 30, whatever it might be, they can enter that for you. And so you look at this, I'm doing chapters. Again, you have to kind of read, guys. Hello, take your time and read. Advanced info, what that means is like if you're doing a series, sometimes when you go to the public library or you found an author who's written multiple books on different topics or an encyclopedia like volume 3, whatever, majority of the time you'll have that blank, but you never know. And then later as you're doing NHD, you'll be clicking here to add an annotation. And the annotation is how you used this source. So if you're doing this, this source, so I utilized this source to help distinguish the clothing of the time period. It helped with creating costumes for our early scene, or whatever it might be, how you use that source. So just put something in right away to help you remember why you used it. It might be this source affirmed the information that I found earlier, and we use this for pictures on my exhibit. Whatever it might be, but this is called an annotation. An annotation is a brief summary or write-up of how you use your source. Do not wait until the end to do this. You will go insane. Okay? So start writing little notes. You can always go back and edit and change it, guys, but get that information now. So then your final one is create citation. And it says, hooray, we have your new citation. And now you have 4 sources within there. So if you look at it, it highlights the one in blue, and there's your new source. So you now have 3. If at any point you want to go back and change something, you click on Edit, and that's where you can go back in and change what you might need to do. You can update, add your annotation, and so on. Sorry, my puppy's whining here. So if I just hit Update, again, this is where you can change it. Update, and go ahead. And there you go. The other one that a lot of kids don't always remember is that database. Remember, we put all of your apps into a database folder here. So database, I know it looks like you could go right here, but there's a quicker way. There's a much quicker way. Instead of going to the database, if you go over here to all 59 options and scroll down right here where it says write and paste citation. So if I click on that, this is where you can get a copy paste out of a database. So let me just show you this. So for instance, if I go to the library, I have the databases listed there, but you also have the apps have all been pushed out for you. So if I would go to Gale and I wanted to use the student resources and context, so if I wanted to do that one. Now, when you're at home, you might ask for a password, and that password at home is SDLAX. Okay, so that's just what you have to do at home. So let's say I am, for conflict and compromise, I'm doing Malala. And as I'm looking through here, finding different articles, whatever it may be on here, and look at all of the different articles that I can go with. If I'm going to, for instance, look at this article, don't forget to click View More. As you're reading, it can read to you, and you can save notes, and we can talk more about that later. But right over here on the right side is Citation Tools. If I click on that, right away, look at MLA 8 version edition. See, here's where that APA in Chicago goes, but just leave it there. And all I have to do is highlight all and copy it. Now, on your iPad, it'll look a little bit different, like copy text. What we find is you have to highlight it and then do the old, your copy button. The select button doesn't always work as well on the iPad. So now I've got it copied. I go back to my Easybib. All right, I'm going to go back to my bibliography here because I want to add another source here. And if I go up here back to all 59 options, don't do the database one, it's just a little bit more confusing. Right here and write and paste. It's loading here. And all I have to do is paste it in, and it has it all there. Add your annotation right away. You might not know it, you might have to go back later, but just quickly write down something. You'll be revising. But this source provided me with introductory info. Obviously, anything that I have here that is spelled or underlined, it can help me fix it. Sometimes it doesn't, so I have to go back and look up Malala's name, how to exactly spell it. It's right here, M-A-L-A. Got that L. Okay, this is a very weak annotation. I know that, but I'm just putting it in for now, and I could continue to revise, but this is just, again, just putting in a brief annotation so you don't wait to the end. When I'm done, I create that citation. And hooray, your new citation. And now I'm up to 5. And there is the Malala one. And see how it says custom? And notice right here, it's also putting my annotation right in there so that I can see it. I can see how wonderful it is or how pathetic it is and what revisions I need to make on it. And again, here's my other one up there as well. This one doesn't have an annotation so that I can see, ooh, later on I've got to go back, but look at, oh man, what did I use this book for? That can be really complicated with having to go back and remember 2 months later, right guys? So make sure you use that. So just a quick rundown on a couple of things, how to website, book, and your databases. And if you have any questions on those, a lot of sources, not even just databases, but there are different places now, they're getting more and more out there with those citations. So always look for that citation already done. That can save you a lot of time. Happy researching. Holler if I can help. Have a good day.